Good morning, all of you. Today, I'll start with the gravitation. I think this week we have a syllabus of electrostatics, gravitation, and the Gauss law. Even the Gauss law is included. So don't go for capacitor again. So what should be the plan for this one? So the gravitation concepts and electrostatics are almost parallel, except Gauss law application. You might have seen that one. So therefore, what I suggest is like just focus on more on Kepler's law of planetary motion, problems related to conservation of angular momentum, some equation of ellipse that, and come out of that totally. And after this, we have this one variation of G with height, altitude due to rotation, due to shape, and Kepler's law. You take it out these two, the rest all gravitation, electrostatics is same. So what you're studying here, the same thing will be there. Fine. This is about the gravitation. So today I'll start gravitation. We'll finish off some around 15 problems I picked up. We'll finish off that. I think that will be the, and you revise few from my notes. That is enough. And then when it comes to electrostatics, concentrate on F equal to QE, means problems related to conservation of mechanical energy, F equal to QE. I think I yesterday uploaded a notes. You have like F equal to QE part 1, part 2, part 3. I think plenty of questions are there. Directly go through that questions. No need to revise anything. There's no need to read anything. Coulomb's law. What you read now, Coulomb's law, already you know enough. Then, sir, field due to, how the field due to line charge. Just see once. No need to take pen, paper. Just read like newspaper. All the theory. So I think theory also you are not supposed to read. Field due to ring. No need. Just you, okay, this by assuming small element, on the axis will get dE. If you're integrating, you'll get answer. So the end answers are very important. Like that, what all you have to remember, the electric field and potential due to different shaped charged bodies. You better take pen, paper, and write down. There are around 15 to 20 different shaped objects will come. Finish over. So almost 80% of electrostatics is over. And rest all everything is Gauss law. And the Gauss law again with conductors, earthed shells, if they're joined by a wire. So there's a one set will be, then due to induced charge, concentric spherical shell, different cases. I think in somewhat little bit better position, no? This is, then pick up F equal to QE problems. F equal to QE, like if a charge is kept, charged body or a point charge kept in an electric field, what about the force, torque acting on it? And all problems like conservation of linear momentum, conservation of angular momentum, conservation of mechanical energy, how to calculate speed, acceleration, like that we have some application problems with SHM, with friction, with rolling. So different set of, so revise, that'll be sufficient. So now don't take and read Coulomb's law, then what all notes, everything given, no, time will not be sufficient. I think today gravitation you should wind up, tomorrow electrostatics you should wind up, and next what all you have Thursday, Friday, you should work out many numericals, different numericals. Fine. So it's all about like how you recollect things. I think that is the final thing which will justify your preparation. Don't just end up with only reading. You should work out also numericals. So working numericals will come only when you read fast. Fast revision has to be done. Fast revision means not like something only topic name. So you must know like the field due to this, what is the methodology involved. That's all. Don't bother the mathematics, how that integration, how integration done, then go on. So I think really it's a big headache for you within this less time. So much of content you should recollect. That's what I told you. Remembering standard ideas is what the key for JEE Advanced. So what you study, no, you should not forget. But sir, I'm forgetting. Read it. Fast recollection things. So maintaining of data is very important. Unless you don't have a data, no, like teacher notes, everything. Anyway, these are online. Okay, yesterday I uploaded. So maximum you can recollect. Further, when you come to the offline, no, so you be alert. Same thing happens for advanced exam also. When you after mains exam, what you should read 45 days. You should recollect, no, what all you studied. So recollection and adding new things. Recollection, adding new things. Fine. So don't fight with any one question for 1-2 hours. That's another thing. So recollect all standard ideas. Definitely you can manage better. The best way of learning physics is through numericals rather than with the theory. No, best way of learning is different ideas based questions you pick up, and oh, like this idea comes like this, so we should think in this way. In this way, you have to proceed. Okay, now there's a question I picked up related to some center of gravity here. So we have this one. There's everything is a sphere. This yellow color is a sphere. Okay, so he's asking now, find the distance of center of gravity of the rod from the center. So shall we put R by 2? The black color one is a rod. So is it R by 2? Definitely the answer is no. The reason for that, if the size of the object is very less, very much small compared to the dimensions of the earth, then it will be at R by 2, center of mass. Yes, center of mass and center of gravity will be different. He is asking center of gravity. So what is the formula? The same thing. There it was about the mass. Now we have to go for the weight. So what is the expression for first center of gravity? XEG, the center of gravity should be X into dW by dW. Center of mass was dm by m. So effective weight, the weight is what you have to substitute. So let me assume a I think inside this, there is a rod. It's a small tunnel. So radius of this, let it be R. Let's assume a small strip. I think I'll make this a green color. That'll be better for us. Yeah. This is a rod. Okay, now let me assume a small element of length dy, anything you can take it. So what is the gravity at a distance y inside? Let m be the mass of this. M naught, I'll take it, mass of this one. So what is the expression for gravitational field strength at a distance? G m naught y by r cube. In that G m naught, because G m naught by r square will become gravity, acceleration due to gravity. So there's the expression for gravitational field. So that particular element will experience a force, or say like that force is nothing but effective weight, right? So there'll be dW. So that should be equal to E into dm. What is a dm? Dm should be lambda into dy. Not work done, it's a weight, effective weight. This should be equal to 0 to capital R. Okay, we'll do one thing. I'll just bring only this much. G lambda. Okay, let me come for this one expression for this. This is y here. Y dw is how much? Dw is G lambda R y dy. Integral of dw. What should be the limit? 0 to capital R. because the rod is from 0 to capital R. Substituting this, solving, will finally end up with 2R by 3. Center of mass will be at R by 2 only. So I had to put it very clearly for you. Getting the idea now? So I think I made a definition. Can you remember, like, if the size of object is comparable to size of the earth, then center of gravity and center of mass will not lie at same point. If size of object is very much small compared to size of the earth, in that case, what will happen? Center of gravity and center of mass will lie at different position. I think there's a y here. I don't know why I'm writing x. Yeah. Position of center of mass. Okay, do be careful. I just took rod. Any other object they'll bring. You have to use this same method. So instead of this, I may bring a cone. So what you should be ready for all this. There's a one small idea. This is enough. Now you should proceed with this one. Now, what are the ideas? Like, suppose if you have there's a planet. Here, what happen? I can place a cone. Cone of height r. This radius r by 10, and this is r. This is m naught. So I'll ask you definitely. We know where the center of mass will be. Center of mass will be here. Center of gravity, okay, I'll ask you to calculate. Agree this? So body can be inside or on the outside that one. So now definitely, can you neglect this? Can you neglect the, can you say that G everywhere same? No, definitely capital R, no. If instead, if the cone were very small, okay, something H. So what is H? H will be very much less than R. H will be say like some 10 meter, 100 meter. What is capital R? 6,400 kilometer. Then center of gravity, center of mass will be at same point. Able to understand the methodology? This one. So it can be for any other object here. Okay, be ready for questions of like this. Let's get into the question. Read the question, I'll magnify it. Okay, all of you, read the question carefully. Okay, this what we have is there's a tunnel. Okay, this is at a distance d. So there's an object. Now I'm going to the block comes to rest at center C. I'll release the object here. No. So it will come to rest at C. It's asking work done by the friction. In between, let's see that what is the state. So let this be the theta. D is r by 2, no? We know it. So let this be the small r. Let this be x. How the gravitational force will act here? The gravitational force will act in this direction. Don't put mg here. The gravitational force will act in this direction. Then how the normal contact between the normal contact here will be in this direction. So definitely the friction will act in this direction. and here it will have some velocity, and finally it come to rest. It is released from rest and it come to rest. Okay, I think this much of data is what we should be ready. Okay, let's get into now. Let's get into calculate the work done by the friction. So let me do one thing. Let me this is O, A. Let this be B. Potential at A, potential at B first we'll calculate. Because it has moved from rest to rest, no? So therefore, the friction does negative work. The friction does negative work. Altogether from A to B, it has moved from rest to rest. Then friction does negative work. So therefore, there should be decrease in gravitational potential. The decrease in gravitational potential G got converted into, it is utilized to overcome the work done by the friction. That's the core idea. So what is the potential at point A? Will calculate. Potential at point A should be equal to minus G m naught by R. Potential at B. Potential inside should be equal to G m naught R square. I think the formula, let me recollect. 3 by 2 R minus
Square.
Okay, I think this much is our formula.
Sir.
Negative sign I'll bring outside. Huh? Put smaller equal to 0. Potential at the center should be 1.5 times. Remember either of way, it's left to you. Okay, let's calculate potential at B. So what is the value of, I think I'll write some other thing. Yeah, smaller will become here. Some S I'll write it, no problem. What is value at B? What is value? R equal to D by 2. That itself is given. R equal to D is equal to R by 2. Yeah, anybody potential at B?
Minus 11 by GM.
11 by 8 GM naught by R. No. How to calculate work done by friction? So you do one thing. So when it moves from A to B, what is work done by the gravitational force? It does positive work, no? When it does positive work, potential energy must decrease because the conservative force. The decrease in potential energy is utilized to overcome the work done. So therefore, I'll go for work energy theorem. Of course, I can apply conservation of mechanical energy. If you want, I'll write it in terms of that one. UA. Better will write in terms of this. Ka plus work done by the gravity, work done by the friction equal to Kb. It is released from rest, work done by the gravity. Mass of the particle m into Va minus Vb. Work done by friction. Friction does negative work. Okay, this. So now substitute this m into potential at A minus Gm naught by R minus of minus 11 Gm naught by 8R. This should be equal to work done by friction. Minus 8 plus 3G check it. Okay, here what will happen? You do one thing, put positive only. I took negative. Okay, better put positive. So we'll end up with negative sign. Or else, since I know work done, friction does negative work, you can introduce sign and you'll get the magnitude. You want to check, is it positive or negative? Don't put any sign because we don't know anything. Then we'll get negative. So it does negative work. Okay, this is about part A. Is asking to get the mu. How to bring mu? So we know work done by friction. We know work done by friction. So let's calculate the normal contact. So what is the normal contact? Normal contact should be equal to F cos theta. What is F should be equal to? G m naught m by r cube into S into cos theta. Keep it here. What is cos theta will be d by S. S get cancelled. So G m naught m r cube d is r by 2. This is the expression for normal contact. Then work done by friction. So as it moves from A to B, what is the displacement? So I'll write it here. Work done by friction should be equal to mu F into AB. So what is F? F should be equal to mu N. AB distance we have to calculate. AB will be
root 3
Root
r
3
by
by 2.
how much?
Root 3 r by 2.
Root 3 r by 2. So we know work done by friction 3g m naught m by 8r mu n is g m naught m by 2r square root 3 r by 2. Solving this will get mu.
Root 3 by 2.
Root 3 by 2. See, just you have to fight with the question. Have draw diagram and what all the best things you know. So especially questions come from gravitation. No? I think to some extent, if you're not a mass oriented, definitely you can manage very well. If you're not a mass oriented, if some integration based somewhere here and there, maybe due to not taking suitable limits and will end up. If not a mass oriented, you can very easily comfortably manage an exam. You look at that way the advanced questions, no, almost students are very comfortable final exams gravitation because the questions will revolve around momentum, conservation of angular momentum, conservation of linear momentum, then center of mass, or say like a conservation of mechanical energy, something around this only things are revolving. Let's take the next one. We do have, I'll speed up. So writing so many steps, again, I need a lot of time. Okay, this we have a planet of radius r. Surrounding it, there's a thing, dense atmosphere. So this is radius, capital R. There's a radius, capital R. This is what atmosphere, the atmosphere. So let me assume a thin layer. I think let me try. Thickness, let it be dr. Now get into the problem. it is found that acceleration due to gravity is constant throughout the atmosphere of the planet. I'll shade later on. No? It will take more time. Okay, this more than capital R, the radial distance more than capital R is what? Atmosphere. So where is the atmosphere? Atmosphere will lie in the region greater than capital R, small r greater than capital R. Okay, let's get into this one. So what is the dm mass? So this dm should be equal to density of atmosphere rho 4 pi r square dr. It will extend from capital R to say smaller, let's assume. Rho is what? Sigma naught r 4 pi r square dr, capital R to smaller. So what shall we call this one? Mass of the atmosphere between where? Between capital R to small r. Between what shall I do after this? So it's telling acceleration due to gravity is constant. So let's calculate the acceleration due to gravity at a distance smaller. This should be equal to total mass of the planet. How much given? Capital M, no? Small m is what we took. So capital M, small m by r square. This itself is constant. So let's substitute. Next step, it will be G capital M by r square. G by r square. Small m is how much? 2 pi sigma naught r square minus what else I should write? Yeah. 2 pi G into 2 pi sigma naught only no smaller get cancelled. So minus of this will be next. It will be 2 pi G sigma naught r square by small r square. For G to be constant, what conditions we have to put it? Because this term is constant. And anyway, this is a constant. So something I think to be constant, therefore G capital M r square should be equal to 2 pi G sigma naught r square by r square. So expression for sigma naught should be M by the value of sigma naught. I think similar thing is there in electrostatics. You can check it. Huh? The same idea you can extend for electrostatics. A charged sphere surrounded by another a charged liquid, they'll give that one. The idea will be same. A tunnel is dug along a chord of earth at perpendicular. I think that just previous problem only, I shown that normal contact will be a constant. So somewhere here. Look at the normal contact. It will be constant. Will I agree this? You look at this. Normal contact will be a constant. Just compare things. So what is the diagram? The diagram will be like this. This is very important. Plenty of good questions are there related to this. You have to, there is a tunnel. The same problem I just asked about other way. This horizontal two lines, the gap between them is a tunnel. This is a tunnel. The normal reaction of the wall and the acceleration of particle varies with x. The distance from the center from the earth according to the graph. So now normal contact, we are very sure it will be constant, just previous problem. What about the acceleration is telling? So somewhere let the particle be here. When the particle is here, get in this one. So let this be r, let this be theta, let this be x. X is what? The normal reaction of the wall, and the acceleration of particle varies with x. The distance from the center from the earth. Yeah, I think that is calling this is x. Call this is L something. Okay, what is the force F? Force F will be acting. This is theta, this will be normal contact. In fact, it will accelerate. What is the expression for force? Force acting should be G m naught m into x by r cube. So directly I'm writing the field inside at a distance x. There's a form, there's a force. So now the acceleration will be F cos F sine theta by m. G m naught m sine theta what we can write? L by sine theta will be L by x. X get cancelled, so G m naught. But L is what we have assumed, no? So in terms of x, we have to bring it. So what is the expression for? X square equal to r square by 4 plus L square. L will be so look at now the x now. It will vary, no? So we can pick up this graph. No guesswork, some small help of mathematics. And you do work out already, we did, no? So normal contact should be equal to F cos theta. You use same method and it will be a constant. I'll proceed to the next one. You should analyze, huh? You should analyze. Don't fight with. You should analyze because already there's a revision. You should analyze. Okay, just now we discussed. No, he's asking then the magnitude of gravitational force exerted by the Earth on the rod. So what is the best thing you have to do in the problem? So assume a small length dy at a distance y, or this should be at a distance y. Then the force on that should be equal to E into dm. What is the gravitational field? G capital M by y square. Y is measured from the center of this one into dm. Dm will be lambda into dy. So gm rod of. So lambda shall we write m by r, small m by r. No. So gm y square lambda will be small m by r into dy. Okay, no. So there's a force. So write it. Put limit. Limit should be from R to 2R. Here we have a rod. You can bring any other object. You can bring any other object. You may move this. It can be even a satellite. It can be even a satellite moving in a circular orbit. But altogether, the gravitational force you have to calculate. That gravitational force will provide required centripetal force. Even this satellite can be of certain, may not be equal to radius of the Earth. Maybe you may bring R by 10. It is moving. Satellite need not be a particle. It can be a body also, extended body also. The required centripetal force is provided by gravitational attractive force. Then write equation and get the time period. I'm slowly moving to Kepler's law, problems related to Kepler's law. Read the question. First you analyze what actually the thing, get the diagram, then go for the possible equations. It should be shifted from lower orbit to higher orbit. For that, the transfer orbit is an elliptical orbit. I think somewhere is telling, yeah, you have to accomplished using elliptical orbit. So something we are going to apply conservation of mechanical, conservation of angle. The moment elliptical orbit, conservation of angular term, conservation of mechanical energy. I think they are the only things which are going to help. Let me construct the diagram. Yeah. So this center of the earth. Let me write E only, center of the earth. Now it has to be transferred from one orbit to other orbit. Okay, the path will be elliptical. Rough diagram, rough diagram. Can we call this as a perigee? This you call a perigee. So we know what are the radius of the RE, this distance he has given, RE. 2 RE, yeah? Radius of the earth, 2 RE, this is 4 RE. First we'll calculate what is the orbital speeds of the satellite in the orbit 1, orbit 2. These are very popular, some around 4 or 5 questions are there, just go through once. Anything related to that you can manage here. First we'll calculate the orbital speed. What is the speed of the satellite in the, that should be equal to gm by 2 RE. So this, if I adjust this, this will become root of GRE by 2. You have to give value. Similarly, orbital speed of this GME by 4RE. So GRE by 4. G radius of the Earth. This I solved in junior class. That I'm having a data. Last week, gravitation chapter was there. Okay, this much of orbital speed are there. So it was moving in orbit with a speed, how much satellite? 5,656. It has to be sent to higher orbit of radius 4RE, where the orbital speed will be 4,000 meter per second. So that has to be accomplished what? Through transfer orbit. And there's a transfer orbit already in the diagram indicated. So now from V1, I should make the velocity to perigee, no? Perigee, all of you. Shall I put the one which is near to the focus? That will be perigee. Further point from the focus will be apogee here. So what is the velocity of the satellite needed at perigee and apogee? That has to be calculated. I think what we know, this distance is what we have, 2RE. And what about the further distance? Will be 4RE. Shall we apply the conservation of angle between perigee and that one? Vp into 2RE, mass of satellite should be equal to mass of satellite into Va into 4RE. So this should be Vp is equal to 2 times of Va. There's a one equation. Applying conservation of angular momentum between perigee and apogee for the transfer orbit. Then applying conservation of mechanical energy. So next equation, mass of satellite Vp square by 2 GME ms by 2RE. I'll write down, you later on if you can work out. I think directly you can also bring V1 square here, no? GMEMS into RE, that one. So you can bring in terms of V1, V2 also. Or in terms of GRE, you bring it. One RE, you adjust it here. MS will anyway get eliminated. So this will become VP square by 2 is equal to VA square by 2. 2, okay, 1, 4. GMERE. So we can write it as GRE. GRE. So will I agree this? So some adjustment I made. This 2 should not be there. Yeah. Because what you can write, what is G is equal to? GME by RE square. So where all you want, you can bring G into the picture. So we know all the things. So these are the two equations to unknown. Solving that, we'll get the speed of the at perigee and apogee. At perigee, it must have a speed. It's this one. At apogee, it must have a speed of. In exam, I think you should be very fast. They may ask this in compression, or sometime they'll ask this as objective. I don't know how you manage with the high speed calculation. These are the required speeds. You look at that one.
Sir, you gave Vp equal to 2VN or sir, calculation it will be wrong.
Apogee. Sorry, this is apogee. Perigee will be 876. This apogee. Which one?
Here you give Vp equal to 2VNO, sir. This is not satisfying that equation.
What is not satisfying?
The values of Va and Vp won't satisfy the equation on the left bottom, sir.
These values, huh?
Yes, sir.
Two 292 and 146.
292 and
146.
oh, that much only, yeah.
The kilometers.
Kilometer, huh? Meters. Just give the some values, huh? Hari converting to meter radius. Okay, this one. Apogee 32. Perigee should be twice of this one. Check it now. It'll be this much only. Check it. Huh? Okay, now I got it. So now what asking? What is the minimum energy required for the transfer? What do you mean by minimum energy? With what speed it was moving in the first orbit? In the first orbit, it was moving with a speed 5,656. So how much it has to be? 6,532. So shall I increase speed? Shall I supply energy or shall I take out energy from the side? I should supply energy to the satellite, no? What is the velocity? Initial velocity change should be Vp minus V1. Initial velocity changes. Final velocity changes. Va is initial. V2, it should be final, it should acquire. So Va is how much? 3,000, this one. It has to be again at apogee, it should be fired. The rocket weapon should be fired at both perigee and apogee. So I'll put changes. Change in speed at perigee. Shall we write here? Delta V initial, I'll call it. This should be equal to 6532. Let me directly substitute this thing. Now similarly, change in speed at apogee. What is the final speed in the orbit? 4,000. And at apogee is how much? Okay, this is the thing. These are the changes. Next again, what is the minimum energy required for the transfer? What do you mean by energy? How to calculate? I think the energy needed, I'll write it here. Okay, we can slide down. Yeah. Delta E, the total energy to be supplied. Mass of satellite. Perigee is how much? Vp square by 2. V2 is greater, no? Please do look at the calculation. You should take like this. So who will do that one? The rocket will be fired here. This is more economical. Practically, this will be more economical. Answer. I'm getting 2 point. You check later on. This much of energy should be supplied. both at perigee and apogee, energy must be supplied. So shall we put a comment like energy supplied to satellite at perigee? Okay, just view once. Okay, I'll go to the next question. See, no need to directly take some best, some 10, 15 problems and start thinking that that'll be sufficient. And this is one, a problem is there in Edo. Try to draw the diagram first. A possibility of asking in advance is there in Edo. So let's discuss this one. Read the question now. Viscous drag, some viscosity is what we are introducing into the picture here. I'll proceed with the diagram. Okay, initially, it is at a height eta r, and finally, when it will strike to the it's going to describe spiral path. Not exact shape, I'm able to draw it, some rough diagram. It should be curved one. I'm able to make it a perfect curve. Yeah. Okay, now this was the initial point. It started. Okay, let's get into the somewhere here. Let's try to write all the possible, the forces that are acting. Then it'll be easy for us to analyze what actually going on. How the viscous drag, what is the property of viscous drag? It should directly act opposite to velocity. So how the velocity here will be directed? The diagram, yeah. No, first I'll get into the velocity vector. There's a velocity vector, and the angle between them is theta, where theta will be less than 90. There's a strict condition because of viscous drag, and how the viscous drag should act opposite to this velocity vector. I'll move the diagram. Please, all of you do make observation, because the forces how we take that matters a lot. Alpha v square. How the gravitational force will act. So here I'll resolve this velocity. One component of velocity will be v cos theta. The other component will be perpendicular, v sin theta. 90 degrees I'm putting. So you should be very careful. V and R will not be perpendicular because of this spiral path. And how the force due to gravity should act. No. Okay, fine. So these are the things here. Now let me resolve this. Components, let me resolve. Alpha v square cos theta. Fine. So just make observation. So these are the forces that are acting. Alpha v square. Somebody please mute it. What is this? Alpha v square. This is a viscous drag. This is a velocity where v will not be perpendicular to r, where r is the radius vector. Already I indicated, no? Theta less than 90. So this is what basically happens here. And finally, what will happen? It will revolve and this one. So let's try to write equation. Let's try to write the equation along radial direction. Along radial direction, m v cos theta, derivative of this should be equal to gm mass of planet. Yeah. Mass of moon, no, it is. I will take it here. It's mass of slit light, BMS, into r square minus alpha v square cos square theta. Component of viscous drag will be there. This is one equation. Then along tangential direction, v sin theta, continuously the speed of that will be varying. Even the theta also will be varying. So we cannot solve. Huh? We cannot solve. Okay, let's see that is asking something. Determine how long the satellite will stay in orbit until it falls to the moon surface. Okay, this what generally if a student thinks, no, actually should think this much only. We have to put a condition. If the viscous drag is so high that what happens, it may just complete 1 or 2 rotations and it will fall onto the moon, the satellite. But even the cosmic dust will be very small, will be of very small order. Because of that, what happens, it's going to go several rounds. Then finally what will happen, will enter. In that case, we will become perpendicular to R. This is actually the general thing. So when you have to take a condition like this, when the viscous drag is high. Usually viscous drag will be very low. For very low, you should not think in this way. So this is actually the basic thing what in IDO, the question was asked, keeping this in means a student should analyze like this, then you should come to a prior condition. Okay, when this situation will occur, when the viscous drag is very low, when very high, okay, this condition occurs. So usually the viscous drag or the cosmic dust, what is acting now, will be very low. In that case, it's going to go several rounds. V will be perpendicular to R. I had to, as a teacher, I think I should analyze both the cases. That's why I'm just showing it this one. So this is for high viscous drag. For low viscous drag, we'll see that one. For low viscous drag, V will be definitely perpendicular to R. The problem will become very simple. It's going to go spiral. Diagram not exact. Okay, let's, yeah. So this is R, and there's a basic property that occurs. Sir, how do I come to know? I think better, therefore they have proposed here, low viscous drag, high viscous drag. The conditions will be like this. Okay, now, all provide required centripetal force, the gravitational attractive force. So here, strictly, and the viscous drag will act in this direction. So there'll be tangential retardation as well as this one. So let me directly start with Fe should be equal to Gm ms r square. Please do make observation of the things here. So this will provide, and the orbital speed v square by r gms by r square. Expression for orbital speed will be this. Already we know this. I think keep it here now. What is the total energy of the satellite? Should be equal to, shall I directly write? It should be equal to minus, directly I'm writing it. This should be the total energy of satellite. Both potential as well as kinetic energy is included. Now what will happen to this energy? This energy will continuously will decrease. So I'll differentiate this. dE is equal to minus Gm ms by 2r square into dr.
Plus, sir.
Plus only, I made plus. A few small things. What will happen to kinetic energy of satellite? Increases or decreases? Anybody? Because before entering any calculations, first we should have a background. What will happen to the speed of the satellite as it approaches the surface? Here somewhere, I'll give the thing. V1, V2. V1 should be greater than V2 or V1 should be less than V2. You know concept, huh? You should apply. That's what I feel. V1 should be greater than V2. Sir, how do you can say, what is the expression for kinetic energy of satellite? Just simple idea. So what will happen to radius R? R decreases. If R decreases, kinetic energy should increase. Objective questions, be careful. So, but viscous drag is there as the decrease in potential energy will be such that it is able to overcome the viscous drag, and also there'll be increase in kinetic energy. But sir, viscous drag is doing negative work. Yes, I do agree. Viscous drag does negative work. The decrease in potential energy is equal to increase in kinetic energy plus work done to overcome viscous drag. That's what happens here. Sir, how do you can say? I'm not here just bluffing here. I'm clearly telling that one. What is the expression for kinetic energy of a satellite? I'll write K, simple. That's what we know. And if R decreases, we know spiral path, radius decreases, kinetic energy should increase. Now, what will happen to angular momentum? Angular momentum is given by mvr. And what is the expression for mass of satellite? ms gm. Look at now, angular momentum also will increase, no? Sorry, R decreases, angular momentum decreases. So R decreases. It'll decrease. Okay, let's get into the calculation part. Our question is only to calculate that time. Tell me, like, from where I should bring the time parameter into the picture. The viscous drag does work. The viscous drag does work. So shall we go for that one? The decrease in potential energy. Oh, so okay, the work done by viscous drag, dE is equal to F into ds. What is F? F should be equal to, here I'll introduce the rate at which mechanical energy decreases. That should be equal to F into ds by dt. What is ds by dt? That should be the power F into V. Okay, dE by dt. So dE is equal to, further I'll write it as F V into dt. What is F? F is alpha V square V dt, or this will become minus alpha V cube dt. Keep it in hand. Now, what is dE is equal to? I need one more. I'll get into calculation part. Okay, dE should be equal to Gm ms dr by 2r square equal to minus alpha V cube into dt. Okay, let's solve this. What is the expression for V? Orbital speed, Gm ms 2r square dt minus alpha. This should be equal to Gmr to the power of 3 by 2. Fine. This is orbital speed. But sir, it's a spiral speed. At any distance, radial distance r, the speed of the satellite is given by this particular thing. Okay, rest all everything will be G capital M. Yeah. I think now only the limit, suitable limit is what we have to solve. M gets eliminated, mass of the satellite, ms 2 r square, here r to power of 3 by 2. Anybody, how much will get? R will be? Anybody? What should be the power of R?
1 by 2.
1 by 2. Okay, fine. Yeah. This will be root R. We'll take it. Now the limits will be ms 2 r to the power of minus 1 by 2 dr. This should be equal to alpha root gm into dt. What should be the limit I should go for? Initial distance is eta r, and the final how much will be r. Finally, it strike the surface of the earth. I'll write the answer. You later on check it. Our question was asked with a low viscosity. Cosmic dust means it will be low viscous only. Rather than, I think, the present exam objectives that KL varying, that they are very important. We'll take next one here. Read the question. I think this V naught, I'll slightly adjust it if not given properly. It should be like this. Read the question, get into this one. It was supposed to be launched into a circular orbit, but due to some reasons, what happened, it was launched at an angle alpha. Then it will describe the elliptical orbit that R max and R minimum are to be determined. That was the question that was asked here. So he's asking that particular R max and R minimum that have to be determined. What is the expression for energy of satellite in elliptical orbit? Expression for energy of satellite in elliptical orbit. Recollect some formulas. It becomes very easy if you can remember that data. What is the expression? So first, what is orbital speed? I'll proceed. Problem is very simple. You need not to do anything. Gm r naught. If it were in circular orbit, it would have been this much of the orbital speed. Then it was launched at an angle alpha. If I launched horizontally, okay, but at an angle alpha, it is launched here. So therefore, the elliptical orbit, it will come. So what is the expression for the energy of a satellite in elliptical orbit? That should be equal to minus mass of planet. Yeah. So this should be equal to GMP, mass of the satellite is M, into 2 R naught, no? And what is R naught? This should be the total energy, what it is possessing, that one. And what this should be equal to, this E should be equal to minus G after certain time. So somewhere here it is. Anything? So somewhere here I'll write it. Let it be. At a distance R. Take like this. So this should be equal to what now? GMPM M V square by 2. Then applying the conservation of angular momentum between these points A and B. So this is the energy at A, energy at B. I think it is okay. Then applying conservation of angular momentum between points A and B. What should be the angular momentum there? Should be equal to M V naught R naught cos alpha should be equal to MVR. V and R are unknown. Solving eliminate V, you'll get expression for R. Two equations, quadratic equation for R will come. Solving that will get the required answer. Fine. So you would ask question like, sir, what is this equation? This is the energy of satellite moving in L2, and total mechanical energy must be considered. And what is the energy when, if it were supposed to move in circular orbit, what was the energy that one? Already we know Gm by 2r, and the total mechanical energy must remain constant. This is something related to circular orbit I brought. This is something related to elliptical orbit is what we are bringing. And we know mechanical energy must be considered in elliptical orbit, and angular momentum should be considered. Objective questions, maximum. And there's one more. If a planet is suddenly stopped, read the question, get the diagram first. Get the related diagram. How much of time it takes? You can do by two methods. Like just now I discussed the integration method. You can totally avoid integration and you can bring the ellipse idea and you can work out the problem. So basically, so we'll begin like this. This is sun. It was initially it was revolving in a circular orbit. This is sun. It was moving and suddenly it is stopped here. Suddenly stopped here. Now, what is the time it will take to fall into the sun? Time period of revolution of planet's revolution. You have to assume that one. Circular. See, I think planets will revolve in what? Will revolve in elliptical orbit only. But here he has put a condition. Earlier it was revolving in circular. Now suddenly it is stopped here. Now, what is the expression for in terms of time period when it revolves in a circular orbit? Any formula for this? Let it be t. Let's not bother. So, and what is the radius of that? Let it be r. Let me construct first thing. No. Can we assume some sort of ellipse here? And so what can be this? This will be semi-major axis. And what is the distance planet? No, PS should be equal to r. And what should be the A? A should be r by 2. And what is the time taken for it to be in elliptical orbit? Any formula you have? And if eccentricity is almost equal to 1, so this will become like almost like a straight line. No? Little bit of take help of the ellipse idea. So the time period is proportional to, so earlier the time period t square is proportional to r square. Now in elliptical orbit, the time period should be proportional to t, right? This should be proportional to square of semi-major axis.
T square
Sorry,
proportional to R cube.
cube. This is for elliptical. This is for circular. What I know. Will I agree this? And from the diagram, what is A? A should be equal to R by 2. So let me do one thing. TE square by A cube should be equal to T square by R cube. TE square equal T square A by R whole cube. What is A? A is R by 2. So this will, everything will become T square by 8. TE square should be equal to T square by 8. Then what is T? Time taken if it were completely elliptical orbit. So time taken to move from P to S should be TE by 2. And what is TE? TE from here should be root 8. Okay, substitute no, this will be T by 2 root 8. Agree this one? I think you can further adjust root 2 by 8. So this is what will happen. We assumed it. It almost moves in. It will move in what? Straight line only. But if you make eccentricity equal to 1, eccentricity is approximately equal to 1. In that case, so we can assume it to be like a straight line. Then I can bring that idea of that one. All simple mass based application. So you can also do by what? The energy of satellite E equal to just now previous problem what we did, mass of sun, mass of planet by 2r. Then differentiate this dE r. So the radius of r, this r will vary from small r to 0. Then what is the time taken? This will be very lengthy, this approach. We'll do one thing. This one mass one. Yeah. Same sum. Ellipse idea is there. We'll finish off this. Definitely. See, for satellite, not answer independent. I don't think so. You should think in that way here. For the satellite to be, there's a circular orbit. So it is there in circular orbit and it will have a speed. In this one. So then what is the time taken for it to fall? I suddenly stop it. No, when I stop it, what happened? No question of that orbital speed. Over. You should not think about orbital speed. You look at the question. Suddenly orbit supposed to be circular. Suddenly stopped in its orbit. So that orbital speed itself will vanish. No, I should not bother about that. Come for this. This is something launching one. It is a diagram not correct. I'll make a correction. Meanwhile, you read question. The ear eccentricity, I assumed it will move straight, but what will happen? We can just took mathematics. You do by integration, you get same answer. Somewhere check your calculation. Okay, it should be elliptical. Yeah. So some small correction in the diagram. I'm making it. Yeah. This will be the launching angle. A particle is projected from the surface of the Earth, local horizontal, as shown in figure. So that angle subtended by arc between launching and landing site at Earth is beta equal to 90 degree. That angle is 90 degree. The maximum surface particle from the center of the Earth is asking this value. Okay, let it be. I'll draw one more diagram. It's a pure, it's a everything based on the ellipse idea. You go like this. At an angle horizontal, no? Yeah. This is the launch angle. This is a landing. This angle is what? 90 degrees telling between launching that one. No, get into the problem. With speed equal to root GMRE, it's at an angle from local horizontal. I'm giving it, you must take help of your ellipse ideas.
Eccentricity will get.
Eccentricity is needed, no? That you have to calculate. I will continue. I'll just treat this one. So this angle is what? Diagram not correct. I'll construct a diagram because again I have to explain more. Let me wind up in the diagram. Yeah. So this is the work path. So this will be the focus. Elliptical orbit about the center of the earth it will be. So this will become focus. And this will be the F, A, B, C, D. And the distance FA should be equal to the semi-major axis. No, CD will become semi-major axis. Then even FA, FB should be equal to semi-major axis. This is. And what is FD? FD should be equal to A into E. So what is the maximum distance? Our question was FC. Then this angle is what? 45 degrees. A and B, what will happen? Will become the ends of semi-minor axis. So this distance should be equal to A and FD is equal to AE. So now cos 45 should be equal to FD by FA. 1 by root 2. FD is AE and this is A. So E equal to 1 by root 2. What is use of this? Very next question you can ask. Because what is the major distance now? What is the distance FC? Maximum distance. Distance is what FC and this is equal to FD plus DC. So this should be equal to AE plus A. So we know somehow the value of A has to be determined. How to bring the value of A?
A is radius.
What is A? Why A is radius?
In triangle ADF,
In triangle,
right angle, it is a right angle triangle, sir. Pythagoras theorem will get A equal to R.
need, sir, from the diagram only we can say is radius.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, that A is radius. Okay, that I'll agree. That one. So, but here what we assumed it, no? We assumed it. Okay, A equal to RE, you are going to write it. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, from the triangle. So problem is very simple, no? So this will become 1 by root 2 plus 1 into RE. No need to fight with any of other things. Huh? If you ask what is the speed at this particular point, can we calculate? I launch it with a speed V naught. Can we calculate? I think applying conservation of angular momentum, all the things. If I take this is theta, this angle, how much it should be? MV naught. Okay, local horizontal. This is. I think we need with respect to surface of the earth is needed. So if you know that, you can apply conservation of angular momentum and you can work out. Okay, I'll bring another question based on this. No need of any other thing. Just your idea of ellipse has to be applied. So questions can be of like this. You will ask the distance AB. If you ask the distance AB, semi-minor axis, how to determine? So you have this triangle, right angle triangle. From that, you'll get the range. This AB also can be asked. This should be equal to AD plus DB. A by root 2, A by root 2, root 2A. The range, so all things can be asked. So be careful this one. Let's get into some questions on this. The same idea. Yeah. Acceleration due to gravity on surface of Earth is G and radius of Earth is R. A ball is projected horizontally from point P1 on surface of the Earth. If the maximum height attained by the ball above the surface of the, then the speed of projection V naught. So what is the basic idea here? So when it is here, the force F1 will act. When the particle is here, V2, the force F2 will act. Can we apply? Net torque is 0. So applying conservation of angular momentum, mv naught r should be equal to mv2 into 3r or say 4r. Then speed of projection is asking. So we don't know v2. So this will become v2 equal to v naught equal to 4v2. This is a one equation. Apply conservation of mechanical energy. These are the routine problems. Mass of Earth mr should be equal to mv square by 2 minus gmem 4r. Solve these two equations, 1 and 2, get the required answer. And no second thought. Conservation of angular momentum, conservation of mechanical energy. No. The diagram, you should assume it properly. That's all here. Read the question first. How do it will come and strike? I think that particular thing has to be, if falls on the planet making an angle 30 degrees, the line joining the point of impact at center of planet, then is asking what all the conditions. Let me take same diagram. Yeah. here only. So how the velocity falls on planet, making an angle 30 degree with line joining the point of impact and the center of the planet. So can we apply now conservation of angular momentum? This should be equal to mu r should be equal to mv sine 30 into r. Now the angular momentum will be conserved. We don't know v, so v you can write it as u by 2. V equal to 2u. Expression for u. So I'll apply conservation of energy principle. It is far away, no? Initially, this infinity. Mu square equal to mv square minus g capital M small m by r. Substitute v here, solve for you, you'll get the required answer. Different ideas, huh? It may graze, it may strike. Huh? Next, any other question? What we have? Okay, I'll come to this. This question, I think, whether discussed. Read the question. This one. Okay, we have this much here. This is r by 2 is given. Find the minimum possible value of v naught. Is asking no, the ball comes out. A ball of mass is projected into the tunnel at a with speed v. The ball comes out tunnel b and escapes out of the gravity. So at this particular point, it will escape. So what is the condition of what is the energy supplied? mv square mv square should be equal to minus MEM r equal to 0. 2g this should be the speed with which it should be projected, no? Means now what actually happens, I'll project with a speed v naught. I'll project with a speed v. Then it will arrive here with the same speed. Then if this is equal to escape velocity, it will move to the infinity. Okay, agree this, I think, but sir, like it should escape from A. No, because of the tunnel made what happen, it will escape at B. And what should be the escape velocity at B? For it to escape from B, from point B, it should be equal to escape velocity there. Okay, after this, the normal force, if V equal to V naught, something what we got answer. What is the normal force applied at that one? So here the particle, there's a particle, the forces that are acting here, this will be. So the center of curvature of this will come somewhere here, no? Let's assume that one. This will be the center of curvature. Then the normal contact force, the attractive force will act in this direction. The normal contact will act here and it will have velocity, say v1. Then what is the equation now? Here will be n minus Fe should be equal to m v1 square when it is closest to the center of the earth. We don't know radius. That radius is what I'll call R1. We don't know that radius, that has to be calculated. What are unknown things? V1 and R1 and if we know V1, R1, I can bring it. You should not write Fe minus n minus Fe, because this will be the center of curvature for this curved path. Inside the tunnel, C will be the center of curvature of the tunnel. Shall we apply between A and P, conservation of mechanical energy? M V square by 2 minus G M capital M, yeah, small m, R is equal to M V1 square by 2 minus G potential at that particular point. No?
One by t.
Here this formula.
Sir, gm by 2r square into 3r square minus x square.
Okay, fine. Huh?
Sir, R1 value is also given in the question.
R1 value. Where it is?
Last statement.
Last
And the
clause,
circular shape tunnel is
radius
also.
of
Oh,
circulation.
that is okay. That then fine. Only R will get it. Last statement, I didn't check it. Substitute, get that, you'll get V1. That value of V1 I'll substitute, I'll get the normal quantity. And what is Fe? Fe should be equal to okay, gravitational field here should be Gm will I agree this formula? Why should be Gm? Why not Gmm by R by 2 whole square? What is the field inside the spherical, inside the solid sphere? Gm x by R cube. What is x? X is R by 2. I think here also we'll do some mistake. What is the field inside the solid sphere? Should be Gm x by R cube. Substituting this, we'll get expression for normal contact. $13 GM. Check the answer. Huh? It should be this much. This already we have done. No? Let me discuss one more question. We have a time. Yeah. Conservation of mechanical energy between any 2 points. What is there? Between any 2 points you can apply. I think we are discussing this one. No? At a kinetic energy plus gravitational potential energy plus here kinetic energy plus gravitational potential energy plus here kinetic energy mv1 square by 2 plus gravitational interaction potential energy. For that, what is the potential at point P? If you know it, what is the expression for potential? One m is missing. Okay, fine. Here 1m. So what is the gravitational potential at point P inside the solid sphere at a distance r by 2? This is the formula. Small m is missing here. Let me wind up one more question. All completed, no? Here. Yeah. Come for this. Radius of the sphere varies as a function of r. A tunnel is dug along the radius up to depth and a body is projected from the bottom of tunnel as shown in figure so that it escapes from the earth gravity if velocity of projection. So it's also again say some small idea. You somehow what happen, you should get that concept involved. I think rest all you can manage. Tunnel is only till r/2. Okay, this the center O will take it. There's a radius r, radius of the tunnel, and the length of the tunnel is r/2. It is projected from here. The particle is projected from here so that it will escape to infinity. We'll call this is 1, 2. See, what will be that at point 2, it must have the escape velocity. But look at the density of the Earth. Any changes will you make it or no? Nothing that one. So we should know when density is varying, what is the potential? We know potential when it's of uniform density. Will I agree? Please get into the concept here. The density here, in fact, it's variable. So when density is varying, what is the potential at point 1? Or we should know first potential at point 2, then we can calculate potential at point 1. Am I right? Then what is the mathematics involved? The mass involved should be, it's a purely now different. So let's assume a sphere of radius r. I'll assume a strip. Let's get into this one. Okay, this is the center of this. So first we should calculate the field inside the sphere of radius r. Then I'll come to problem. First, I think we should manage with the thing. So let the mass be a dm. So what is the mass of the strip? It's not a ring, it's a thin shell. So dm should be equal to rho into 4 pi r square dr. What is rho? Rho naught r. 4 pi rho naught r cube dr. This is the mass of the thin shell. How much of mass is enclosed? I'll draw a Gaussian surface inside this shell. How much of mass enclosed means 0 to smaller. So mass enclosed m dash equal to 4 pi rho naught. Let's repeat some mathematics. So now what is the field strength at this particular point? E. Expression for E should be equal to directly shall or apply Gauss law. 4 pi r square E equal to E into ds. I think I'm adding E into integral of ds. 4 pi g net mass enclosed by the Gaussian surface. So this should be equal to 4 pi r square 4 pi g m dash will be pi rho naught r to power of 4. So 1 pi will get eliminated, 4 will get eliminated, pi g rho naught r square. So this is the expression for the field inside the sphere, that one. So now what will happen? So what we can do is like, after getting this E, we should calculate the potential at that point. What is the potential on the surface? So we should know potential at point 2. What is the total mass enclosed? 0 to capital R. total mass of this. So how to calculate M? 4 pi rho naught. What is the potential at point 2? Potential at point 2 is given by minus Gm by R. So minus pi G rho naught R cube. We know potential at point 2. Now we know field inside. I'll calculate potential at point 1. So what is the formula? dV equal to minus E into dr. Oh, time being, let me write it. So this will be, we know potential on the surface, V2. Potential somewhere inside at point 1, we don't know. That has to be determined. Then what is the value? Capital R, this is smaller. So this will be V1 minus V2. Angle between E bar and dr bar. E bar will be directed, dr will be radial outward, E bar will be radial inward. Angle will be 180 degrees. So this will be E dr cos 180. What is value of E? Pi G rho naught R square dr. We know potential at point 2. I'll substitute later on, that is. There's a limit is then. Okay, fine. So like this, I'll calculate the potential at point 1 using this formula. What is smaller? Smaller should be equal to R by 2. Later on the expression, I'll write smaller equal to R by 2. So this will be V1 substitute now. Substitute all the values. Smaller equal to R by 2, you'll get the potential at 0.1. Now, after this, what we have to do? The question is not at over, only just we are getting potential at 0.12. He's asking, it should escape to infinity. With what speed? It should be projected from the 0.1, from the bottom of the this one. So what else? So now you know potential at 0.2, no? So now come back this. I think I'm showing everything. Okay, first we'll calculate V1. Anybody? V1, V2 should be rho naught R cube. We'll get potential at 0.1. Solving this, we'll get potential at 0.1. After this, what we should do? If you project from point 2, what speed needed? Then what happened? For the particle to reach point 2, what speed is needed? That has to be calculated here. V2, V1, V2 are potentials and not speed. And now what is the escape velocity? So with what speed you should project from the surface of the earth so that it can escape to infinity. Calculate that one. I think now can you use the same formula, but here the mass of is you have to substitute pi rho naught R square. So no doubt escape speed should be equal to how much? G into mass by R. What is M? M you have to substitute this one, 2G. So what is value of M? M should be pi rho naught R to the power of 4 that you substitute. Now with what speed I should project from point 1? Tell me what shall I do? I'll apply conservation of energy, mechanical energy from 1 to 2. So what is the formula now will be? M, small letters, capital. Small letters are for speed. mv1 square. Potential at that particular point you should calculate. expression for potential will be m into V1 plus it should be equal to please do follow this equation. This is something very important. Do we know value of V2E? Yes, we know V2E. Do we know value of V2? Potential at point 2? Yes, we know. Do we know potential at point 1? We know. So we'll get the speed with which I should project from the point 1. So what are these things? This is the speed of projection at point 1. Something calculations will be involved. I don't think so. You can't remember any data because rho is given, rho naught or some other value will give. Better to remember the methodology here. The last equation is very important in terms of potential and bringing, not interaction potential. Mass into potential at that point will give interaction potential. There's a necessity to find out the potential on the surface and potential inside. Okay, I'll stop the class. Any other? I'll give assignment. Try to work out few.
Sir, it should be plus MV2, no sir, in RHS.
Okay, I have to sign here. Yeah. Because V2, I'm going to substitute this sign. Yeah, fine. Signs, okay. Yeah. Okay, no, so practice some problems of multiple ideas, not just stick only to one. Different cases and wind up totally. Okay, thank you all of you. Take care, bye, see you.